Hello, super quick intro. Today I'm going to be showing you the solution for the Hanayama Chris Ramsay puzzle, which means I'm going to give you the secret final move to separate that gold ring from the CR initials, and then how you can put it back into its original position. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so here we have a fully assembled Chris Ramsay puzzle. Now, the moves that we're going to do for this one, I'm going to keep this the correct way around, or the correct orientation around. For most of it, we'll have a quick flip over just for the final move, because it'll be a little bit easier for you to see what is happening. But first of all, we've got two ways out of the top of the puzzle, but the only way actually out is to the left-hand side. So we're going to slide it out to the left, and then we're going to come over this gap in here at the same time that we're sliding under here, with a little bit of force to get that move done. And then we are going to flip the gold ring over into this position, and we're going to slide over here into this very small little gap in here. The other side of the gold ring must be up here. It can't be down here, otherwise this move won't work. And then once we're in the right position, we then slide over, where are we, into this position in here. We can then bring that tail round, and we can get the big bit, the big side of the gold ring out of the middle and over to the other side, because we're going to swing it all the way around to this position over here now, over this gap and then over this gap in here. So we'll do that, we'll get those lined up, and we'll keep swinging it around until we get over to this position. And then in here we do the final very tricky move. Now, it makes sense for us to think that we should go over this bit and into this gap here, but we do not need to do that. What we need to do is use this little tail of the R in the initials. First of all, we need to get the gap in the ring on the inside of here. And once we've done that, we can then back the ring up over into this position here. And you'll notice that that's started to come over this part of the C. And you'll have also noticed, I'll show you quickly, that on the middle part of the gold ring, we've got one bit that's at the bottom and one bit that's at the top, relative to where we're looking at it right now. And this is where we're going to use two different gaps at two different times. So at a certain point, we're going to straddle over with one gap, or this bit on the bottom outside of the C, and this bit on the top is going to be on top of the C. That'll make more sense in a second. So first of all, we're going to get it into that gap. We're going to back it up into the tail so that this bottom part is now on the outside of the C. And then if we just go down the line a little bit and then quickly flip it over, you'll see that this part of the gold ring is still inside the C at the same time that this part is on the outside. Now what we need to do is push it along to this gap in here so that we can slide the final part over here. Now this is super tight, so you have to be in exactly the right position, and at the same time if it's a new puzzle for you, then it's going to be a little bit tighter than it is for me, because I've done it a few times now. But once you get it over there, we can then slide it over the end of the tail of the R, and that is how we disassemble the Chris Ramsay puzzle. And to reassemble the Chris Ramsay puzzle, we need to do exactly the opposite. Now, first of all, we need to get it the right way around in terms of putting it on. So the way we know that is we're going to use the first shop engraving. We're going to flip it upside down, well, not upside down, so that it's facing the bottom, and then we're going to hook on the tail in this position in here. And then when we come into this position, we can then, within the right way around to work on the solution. So first of all, we need to make sure that that back piece comes up and over, which again, this bit needs to be as flat to the tail of the R as we can get it. And then we're just going to need a slight bit of force, a little bit of a wiggle to get around that corner. There we go. And then once we've done that, we can then just slide it up to here and push it out. And then all the moves from here are relatively straightforward. So we're going to flip the gold coin around. We'll come up this way. And then we're going to come over this gap in the tail of the R here. And then we're going to keep swinging it around to come up into the middle of the C in here. Then we're going to flip the ring over and get out through this position. But before we do this next move, we need to make sure that the top of the gold ring, or the other side of the gold ring, is up here rather than down here. Otherwise we won't be able to slide over and into this position. And then the final two moves, we're going to flip it over, we're going to slide over this top left gap and underneath this bit at the same time. So we'll get that lined up. And you might need a slight bit of force just to get it through there if your puzzle is relatively new. And then the final piece of the puzzle, the final move, we're just going to slide into that top bit, and we have a fully reassembled Chris Ramsay puzzle. So there it is. That is how you disassemble that gold ring and then reassemble it back into its original position. That final move is the only real challenge to this one. It's built in a way that it is millimeter specific, or you have to be perfect with where the positioning is of the gold ring before you can sort of slide along the C with one bit on either side and then separate it from there. But hopefully what you've just seen has helped you solve the Chris Ramsay puzzle for yourself. If you want to see me struggle through it for the first time, or any of these other Hanayama puzzles and the step-by-step solutions to all the other Hanayamas, then be sure to click my face here to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace!